Hi, this is Jinsa Kim from Biomed Optics, and this is a tutorial on assembling the autofocus system. So we first have to get all our players out. So we have our pin holder, the cylinder for the lens, for the laser holder itself, the photodiode, base, two base cubes, and then two narrow bases, the pin holder cylinder, and the four identical cylinders, the motor and track system, the lens holder, and then two cylinders to support the track and the motor. So now to assemble it, so we start off with the laser holder. So we have two concentric mates. It's going to be between the edge of the cylinder and then the edge of this one of these circles. You see that circle? Yeah. And we get a concentric mate, and we do that again, except with the pole this time, and then edge of the pole and edge of the circle on the base, on the narrow base, and then so that they're in a straight line, and then we have two coincident mates between the top face of the narrow base and then the bottom face of the cylinder, and the other ones with top face of the base and then bottom face of the pole, and then we have another concentric mate between the edges between the pole and then the laser holder, so that it's in line as well. And then we move on to the pin holder. So again, concentric mate, edge of the circle on the base and then edge of the cylinder and the pole, right? That's two concentric mates, and another then there's actually a third one, because this one has a third part, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we need 3 mates for that. And then so basically this has a screw pole that needs to be concentric with all the other 3 pieces. We do that by mating the edge again to the circles of the other parts, and then we have a tangent mate between the U-shaped, the pin holder itself, and then the pole, and then coincident mates between the top of the base and the bottom of the cylinder, and top of the base and the bottom of the pole. Again, similar fashion. On the bases here, we have concentric coincident between the edge and the edge of the circle and the edge of the cylinder, and then the base, top of the base and bottom of the cylinder, and then same one on the other side. And to get the base cubes down, we used coincident mate here, so that the bottom piece, but the bottom part of the base and the top of the base, so the first base being the cube, and then we do width mate with the inner width of the base cube, and then the outer edge, this piece and that side, to get the width mate, and that is copied over onto here as well. And similar fashion, these 2 pieces are secured as well in similar fashion. And then we go on to the photodiode. Similarly, we have another width base, with mate between the inner edge of this photodiode and the outer edge of the big base, and a coincident between the bottom edge of the photodiode and then the top of the base. And then we have 2 concentric mates, or I guess 1 for now, 2 actually, yeah, between the pin holder and the laser system, so that it's pointing towards the center of the pinhole, and same with the pinhole and the lens holder, so that it's centered correctly. And then we have a width mate here between you see the incision made, there's an extrude cut, so that the holder on the track can be secured on, and we have coincident mates right on the outer surface and the surface of the holder, and then the upper surface of the holder and the bottom face of the lens holder. And then we secure the top 2 cylinders similar fashion, we have concentric mate and coincident mate, right? Concentric between the edges of the circle, pole in the circle, and the coincident between the two faces, and copied over here as well. And we initially, in our prototype, we have this cylinder pushed over to here actually, so that these two cylinders are the same height, but then for some reason the bases are too big. The bases, I think, have been cut out in the prototype so that these two cylinders are able to come closer together to support it at the same length. So in order to do that, you would do width mate between the edge of this cutout cylinder. You see how it's been cut out? So you have, the two edges here would be width mated onto these two widths, and then coincide the bottom edge onto the bottom here. Same goes to here, so that it's secured. And as for the distances, it depends on the Arduino programs, I believe, and how you want where the maximum focal point to be. So that depends entirely on the programmer and how the system wants to be run. So this is drawn, I believe, model to scale to what Dr. King had. But that, as I've said, this could be changed depending on how you want it to be. I believe that is it. Oh, and I guess what we did was we glued it in. So for now in our assembly we have it fixed. But yeah, like I said, normally you'd width mate it and then set the distances so that it can't move basically, and only the lens holder would actually move. And that is it. And that's how you would assemble a photodiode system. Thank you for watching. Bye.